the potty, I would be ready at any minute. That's our new theme song.
Excellent.
Hey, what'd the Russians say when the Americans ask them what they kind of pen they use in space?
I was just telling Stuart I found my space pen.
Space pen!
And there was a joke that apparently NASA spent millions trying to figure out how to write in ink in space, and someone asked the Russians what they did, and they just said, we used a pencil.
Yeah.
We
don't bother with ink. We use pencil.
Genius. All right. Who are we, Stuart? What show?
Go Game Go.
Gogamego.
Yeah. There's a popular belief that possibly we should be gogamego, which is close to what I thought it was in the first place.
All right. We are talking multiplayer games. Lance Jennings is already off and running here.
Yeah.
And yes, multiplayer does mean versus. Ooh,
yeah,
biplanes against your dad and snafu against your sister. Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Snafu. Wow. Lance, great to see you already here.
Lance,
hey, you know what?
Here.
Before we get totally started here, too, look at this. Have you seen this?
No.
When I was a kid, I mean, what did we look forward to when we were kids at Christmas time?
What, like the Sears catalog?
Thank you. Yeah, Sears, JCPenney's, whatever it was, right? Now Amazon's going back and doing it.
Really?
Yeah, look at this, man. They've
never sent me anything.
It's like all kinds of. Do they know that you're a child like me?
Yeah, trust me, they do.
Trust me, they do. Have you seen my orders? So they came out with this. Here, let me see if I can turn this a little bit so I can show you. So yeah, it's got a bunch of the toys, little dolls and whatnot. And then they have games in here. Like here's that.
Wow.
And they have a sticker page, which I already tore out. See, they have Chutes and Ladders with Spider-Man.
Oh.
Can you believe that? There's a Minecraft game they got there.
Huh.
But yeah, everything from
interesting that they're putting that out.
Yeah, I know. It's really a cool idea. Even Jenga. But and then they have back here they've got bikes. But where's the electronics page? They had electronics page.
This is just basically a slimmed down Sears catalog.
It is a slimmed down Sears catalog to what's really important.
Huh.
I won't say what else was important when I was a kid. I don't need to sound like a pervert. So here we go.
Oh, Switch Lite, Switch, PS5.
And there's got headphones and keyboards.
I like they show the PS5. I don't even know if they'll have any available.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Huh. Here, that's what it'll be. But we don't have it yet.
Your parents can cut out a picture of it and put it under the tree.
They even have digital cameras and stuff in here. Like kids need access to all that.
Man, they really went to town on this, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I flipped out. And then they have let's see, what else? Oh, and they have here's one for you, Jeff. Draw your own, create your own snow globe.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you could put Tweener Dog in there. There you go. You got to do a Tweener Dog snow globe. So they have Star Wars clothes.
Like this, like right there. There he is on the screen.
There he is. Tweener Dog. So, yeah. So anyway, kind of cool. I thought that was really pretty bitchin'. And you know what's really wild is when you look in here and see things that, you grew up with. Like they have a display of Play-Doh in here. I'm like, good old Play-Doh, still rolling.
Any Slinkies?
Oh, you know what? I don't know.
And not those stupid plastic ones.
No, not the no. It's the plastic that makes them stupid.
I want the metal ones that get bent and then they're useless.
Who doesn't want metal? We all
Hey, Lance
do.
just asked, are there any exclusives or bundles in that catalog? Anything
No,
unique
not
to
that
it?
I see.
Nothing?
But they do have the mystery machine,
Oh.
which my daughter went as Daphne this year to a Halloween party. She was gorgeous. And then there was one of the other folks at the party, might have been the hostess. She went as Velma. Oh, and then they have a hot cocoa recipe. So they really did a great job. I think this is a great thing. Oh, and here you go, the list for the parents.
Ooh, when did that come? When did you get that? Today?
We got it a little bit ago. I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago. Because I meant to show it on the show last time and I forgot.
All the money we spent at Amazon, they didn't even send me a stinking catalog.
Right? I did just order something today, though. I ordered a couple of Hanna-Barbera shows today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I still have one more to get, and God only knows how many times I will actually watch it because it's along with the Space Kids. Is that what it's called?
Is it like a Scooby-Doo ripoff?
No, it's more like, and here we go. So what was I watching? I was watching The Office, and it was the episode where they were purchased by Sabre, by Sabre,
Yes.
right?
Sabre.
And Michael Scott goes to visit his former boss at his house, and he and his son are jamming out, and his wife is like, "So what are you doing today, honey?" And he's like, "Just hanging out." Oh, okay. Okay, so that's it. You're just hanging out. What's the problem? And they go out into the hot tub. See, I love this. This is one of my favorite AC/DC albums. For those about to rock.
Excellent.
But yeah, he's out there and they're in the hot tub. And what's he drinking? A Yingling.
Really?
Yeah, out of the bottle. I was flipping out because they're in Pennsylvania.
Is that where David asked Michael if he wants to join him and suck it? Or if he wants to...
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Suck it.
We're called the suck, and that's how the show ends. They come back from commercial break, and it's the son and him doing suck it. They call it suck it. And then the son is singing it right before the credits. Suck it. You see, zoop, zoop. It just makes that. That's it. Picking up the toys. Zoop, zoop.
Look at this. A few weeks ago we did a video game stuff we have laying around.
Yeah. What is that?
It's a PS1 controller.
Excuse me?
It's a full controller from the original PS1, not the one with the stick later on.
It's like
it's got all the buttons, and you can just
one-handed.
I think it was being promoted as for RPGs, so you can move as little as possible. You can just be like this.
Right.
Like this.
Look how cool I am.
I forgot I had this. This is awesome.
Who makes it or made it?
ASCII.
ASCII. How do you spell that?
Well, if you ASCII, I'll tell you.
I'm just Diddy. Smart assy.
AC or ASCII, like the computer ASCII.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like the computer guys.
It's the ASCII grip.
Holy hell. Look at that.
ASCII grip.
How do you like the logo? Would I come up with a better logo than that?
No, I don't think they could.
Excuse me. I think I'd have done better. So I got my original gamer on. Excellent. So shall we start? So when we get into multiplayer games, when you're talking multiplayers, do you think of it as like truly multi or technically multi?
I think it could be either.
Okay.
I mean, I have a bunch I was going to talk about that are more than 2-player, but then there are some that are 2-player that are just I don't know. they're too good to pass up talking about. So
right. And I almost did some research.
I'm glad you didn't. That would have ruined the show.
That would just make you seem way too smart, Stu. And people already have this view of you that is not that smart.
See, one of the first things I wrote down was Space Invaders for 2600. It's
okay.
Two player,
right?
And I think the 2-player part makes it better than the arcade version. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but of course, speaking of the 2600, what was my first thought?
Warlords.
Thank you. But no, that was wild though when you could have 2 people playing Asteroid.
I know. It was the best. Here's hopefully everyone knows what Asteroid is, or Warlords is.
Yes. Oh my God.
Weren't those things in there supposed to be like king or something?
Yes, that was the king. Yes.
I don't even know what it looks like.
It looks like they're sitting down. They're like got their arms out and their legs out.
Look at that guy. He got killed right off the bat. Jeez.
Oh man, he got screwed.
But I like the fact that you could deflect it or catch it.
Yes. Yeah, because you could surprise them by just deflecting it back.
Yes. Or if you caught it, you could do this thing where you kind of start moving around and flip it really fast and hit the button.
Yes. With what was called, and I don't know, do you ever understand why would they call it a paddle?
I don't know. But a game like that, it's just so much more fun with a paddle.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you what, that thing is just screaming for the Amico. I mean, God, I cannot.
How well do you think the circle controller will work as a paddle? Because it spins, you can spin it, but it doesn't connect to anything. You have to literally press it down hard enough to make a connection. But then you can still spin it. I'm just wondering how comfortable it's going to be when you push it down.
Well, I mean, couldn't you have one of the buttons as the grabber, and you could use your thumb or your index finger to move the disc?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, that's what you did with the other. Mm-hmm. You had a button here, and you would, So
yeah, I'll be curious to see how well that works for that.
That's me too. I how cool would it be? How cool would it be to have somebody say, "Hey, we're going to redo Warlords. We're going to reimagine it. What do you think that should look like?" Still within the same confines. You still got 4 in the corner, But what is your king going to look like? Is it a king? Is it a queen? Is it what is it?
It would be cool if you had a bunch of different options. You could,
yes,
different little icons or images of stuff.
And what is your and what is that? What is that thing that you can catch it or deflect it? Is that like a knight?
I don't know what that is.
What do you make that? Because
I guess so, because they were kind of just defending the castle. I guess it was like a knight.
Right. So you're like, what are you going to make it? What does it look like? I mean, that would be fun to just go, well, here's what the pieces were. What do you think they should look like? Or what do you think ultimately it was? I'd love to talk to the person who developed that game. Do we know who that was?
I think it explained it in the instruction manual, if I remember right. Okay,
because we should look into talking to whoever made that game. We need an interview with that person. So did you get my background? Does anybody get my background? Because it's
I wish we could get
players. And
can we get rid of ourselves and we're still on the show, I guess? Wait, let me see real quick.
That's Multi-Man from The Impossibles.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. And he's I figured I might be the only geek that gets that. But I knew there was others out there. I don't know how young Lance is. He might get that. But I mean, that back then, Hanna-Barbera coupled up different heroes for like an hour long or a half an hour long show. So you had Space Ghost and Dino Boy, and even Scooby-Doo and Dynomutt. They did that. And then you had the Impossibles were with Frankenstein Jr. And then they had the Space Cadet. That's what it's called. Space Cadets. So it wasn't cadets. It was Cadets, I think is what it was. And they were coupled with one of my all-time favorites, Samson and Goliath, where it was the guy on the scooter and he had his dog on the back and he'd go with his power bands and he's like, and the dog turned into a lion, which really isn't the right species. So you'd think it'd be something else.
I love Dynomutt.
I own it.
And the Blue Falcon.
Yes.
They were even good in Laugh Olympics.
Yes. They were like the good thing about the Laugh Olympics. They're the reason I would watch.
So I'm looking at the manual of Warlords.
Yes.
And there was a king named Frederick, and he had 4 sons, Dominic, Marcus, Philippe, and Restivo.
Holy crap.
And they were the king was peaceful, the kids were not. So the king banished them from their homeland and sent far away to a forbidden land where they became warlords, dividing their newly acquired territory into 4 equal sectors. So I guess that's them.
That's trippy that I never knew that.
Is that weird, the backstory of Warlords?
I know. And that's in the manual?
Yes. It's basically just 4-player Pong or 4-player Breakout.
Pong out. Yeah, that's crazy. So it's not even warring factions. I mean, it is warring factions, but
yeah, but they're all brothers.
They're all brothers. They're related.
That doesn't sound right. Poor guys.
I know, right?
I don't know. Did a Warlords version ever come out?
I don't know. Oh, wait, you just said that. I don't know. Warlords not sequels. I mean, Warlord further versions. Warlords. What? Wait. It says Warlords 4.
What?
But I don't know if that's even the same. That's an Ubisoft game that came out in 2003. Warlords 3.
Oh, here you go. In 2002, a 3D remake of Warlords was made.
Yeah, that's
in an Atari Revival pack.
Oh my. So they've already did they reimagine it at all?
There was a port of Warlords in the Retro Atari Classics for the Nintendo DS. Dang, I wonder if I have that.
Well, is it? Well, and you wish it would be in one of the other ones.
Look at this. It was released on the Xbox 360 via Xbox Live Arcade. Wow. So, okay. Because wasn't there I was just looking at it not long ago. Wasn't there there's an Atari grouping that was on one of the systems, right? A PlayStation system. Was that for multiple ones too? Wait, what was the first part you said?
Well, didn't they have there was an Atari grouping that came out on one of was it a PlayStation system?
Oh, like a Greatest Hits or something?
Yeah, because there's one for the Evercade, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's 2.
Okay.
And it's a combination of 2,600 and 7,800 games.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, all right. Because, I mean, I'm looking, and they even had a game. They had a machine, a Warlords machine.
Huh.
I don't know what the game was, if it was the same at all, but...
So look at this. So Carla Meninsky created the game. She programmed it.
Okay, then we need to get a hold of her. Let me
I
look
mean, that's really odd. For there weren't many women back then making games. I mean, there was just a handful. That's really interesting.
She was the Ann and Nancy Wilson of video games.
Apparently,
Carla Meninsky.
She later became an intellectual property lawyer.
Wow.
I'm sure she's probably
her mom was a programmer. And Carla learned programming in high school. But see, she switched from mathematics to neuropsychology and brain modeling at Stanford University.
Well, this is quite the intelligent family, apparently.
Right?
Even still, I think if I was Carla, whenever I went to a party, I'd be like, I made Warlords. Warlords.
She wears a Warlords t-shirt. It's me.
I mean, I'm sure she's done a lot of great things here, but how can you beat Warlords?
So how many degrees do you have? Wow.
4, like the number of players in Warlords.
You did what? You made Warlords? Oh my God.
I could talk to you all night.
Dave, come here. She made Warlords. Man, I used to kick his ass.
Here, now, look at this. This is really, God, this is so weird to me. Okay, so as a 2-player, remember I told you a story about NHL hockey, how I got it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I told on the show. Maybe I did. But it was where Electronic Arts sent me a postcard, and they said, we got this new game coming out, NHL Ice Hockey. Do you want to buy it? And so you sent them a check, and they would send you the game. And that's how I got the game.
Wow.
And, when they had this, of course, on the postcard. I'm like, well, this is the greatest looking hockey game I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, I've got to have this. Okay, but look at this. I was going through my stuff. I was like, I have 2 copies. I'm like, why in the world do I have 2 copies? Then I'm like, well, which one is the original one?
Yeah.
And I thought I knew, but now I'm not sure. So look, the top of this one says EASN presents.
Okay.
And they used to be EASN. It's in the game. And then they got sued by ESPN. And so they had to go to EA Sports. So this one doesn't say it at the top. It just says Electronic Arts.
Interesting.
However, then I was thinking, well, why would they have reproduced this? Because that was a few years later, I think. I was like, why would they remake this? But then look on the spine. It still says EASN. And here's the really weird part. They're not even in the same box.
Oh, different.
And these are both original. They're not, because look, they clearly fit the box. Look how different.
Right.
And
yeah, I guess. Well,
even the size. One's taller. One's quite a bit.
Where does it say they were made? Does it say where they were made?
But this one is. I tend to think that this is the original one because it just says Electronic Arts.
Yeah.
I
was wondering if one was a Japanese version or something.
No, they're both the same. I mean, the cover, everything's identical. One's a little bit smaller because it has to fit in the smaller, but
yeah.
And I've never noticed that until today, that they're 2 different covers.
And that is pretty trippy.
2 different boxes.
Well, I mean, you and I, we've both been in the packaging industry. So, I mean, you need another batch, and then sometimes you got to go to a different packer. And they have a whole other, box that they're using.
It's got the same UPC number too.
Wow. Yeah, so then they may have, I wonder which one came first.
Yeah, just look at the difference. I mean, that's quite a difference in size. I don't know. But this was always my favorite hockey game. I just love this. It's so good. When it came out, it was so much better than everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my students is a huge fan of that game. Loves it. Loves it. Big Blues fan.
And then when 93 came out, because that came out in 82, and then 93 came out, and that's when they started putting the year on it. And I didn't like that one nearly as much, but the 94 came out and it was really good.
And for what system was that you were showing me?
Genesis.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I have, what do I have? I have NHL 95 for the Sega.
That's excellent as well.
So we'll have to play a little bit.
It was cool because they had line changes. Your guys could get tired.
Yeah.
And you could switch out which line, which new guys you wanted to bring in. I mean, it was crazy. All kind of neat things.
Well, yeah. So there you go. There's one of your favorite multis. I mean, I always, some of my favorite multis are racing games. Of course, I mean the Mario Kart. We've talked about Diddy Kong Racing. I mean, those are definitely some of my family favorites when we're talking about being family and playing. Like, I know what one's coming up on your end, but but the Diddy Kong, and we always look forward to it. And you know what else is a big family favorite? Kind of outside of me so far, I have to get into it. And we've played it with the kids before, why can't I say the Mario, the game where you have the board and you're working your way around. Mario Party.
Yeah.
That's huge with my kids love that.
This is crazy, but I have never played a Mario Party game.
No way.
Mm-mm. Never, ever.
I'm having I believe you, but I'm having a hard time believing that. That's crazy. Because you're such a Mario head.
Yeah.
Oh man, they're really, they're so fun.
And on Nintendo 64, I got Diddy Kong Racing.
Yep.
Instead of Mario Kart 64. Because I remember you came over a few times. We played multiplayer.
Yeah.
Because that was up to 4.
Yes.
And they had that real cool one where you could what was it, like a dinosaur thing where they had 4 like pterodactyl nests set up, and you would use the glider and you would fly, and you had to like pick up or picking up eggs or something and moving them around. I can't remember, something like that.
Like before they hatched or something,
I just love the music in that game.
Oh wow. I need an excuse to do nothing for about a week and just play all of that stuff.
Speaking of racing games, I found this one in my snazzy Nintendo 64 box.
Oh.
Now, I'm not even sure if I've played it, to be honest. I mean, I look at the manual. The manual is perfect condition.
Well, wait a minute. Show it to me again. Which one?
This is one of my favorite racing franchises. But look at this.
Oh, Micro Machines.
And it's 4-player. Because my Micro Machines, I loved it on NES, but it was 2-player.
I have it for the Super, right? I have it for the Super.
Right.
Yeah.
But now I've got to play this because I want to know what it's like.
Yeah, here you go.
I probably did play it. I just don't remember playing. I don't even know if it's any good. Excellent.
You mean in accordance to this? You don't know.
NES and Super Nintendo were great. I don't know how this is.
We need to let's play it.
All right.
Right now. See ya, people.
Gotta play a game.
Gotta play a game. Oh, and look at this. If that'll focus in enough.
Oh wait, is Super Nintendo 4-player? Is that what that's showing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. Can be played with or without a multiplayer adapter. Look, it even says the words multiplayer. So, through the bubbles like a rocket. You flip your speedboat around the drain, ricochet off the rubber ducky, and slip cozily back into first. Yeah, 4-player tournament mode. Lets you race solo or team up with a buddy and compete as a team.
All right, now I got to play. I got to play this on Nintendo 64 to see how it is.
Yeah, I got to play this too now. Such a great game.
It's we're talking about multiplayer. It just hit me. Did you ever hear the game General Chaos for Genesis?
I'd like to think that it sounds familiar, but I
it was Electronic Arts game. It was so cool. It was a 4-player game if you had the little Sega Turbo Tap or multi-tap thing. But you had 4 like armies, and you would send them out to do things, and they'd go and they'd battle. But it was so unique for Genesis at the time to have a game like that. It was very odd. It was a lot of fun though.
Yeah. Do you have a multi-tap for the Genesis?
I think I do. I think it was by EA, I believe, the one I had.
Wow. Okay. I have one for the PlayStation, and I have one for the.
I'd have to go through everything and see.
Yeah, I have that one for the NES, but I don't have. And it seems I have, and I have one. I had one for the TurboGrafx, I think. One of my favorite multiplayer things, and I'm only going to mention this because I've already talked about this game before, and it's also not that it's available on the regular game, but it is multiplayer. And when I played online, still is Uncharted 2. That multiplayer on that was online was fantastic. So pissed off when they dumped it, when they dumped the server for that for their PS3. Naughty Dog dumped it. PlayStation didn't dump it. Naughty Dog dumped theirs. So, yeah.
Speaking of more current games like that, even more current is on the Switch, Tetris 99 and Super Mario Brothers 35.
Right.
Those are both great games. I mean, it's hard to beat. I mean, I know there's plenty of Battle Royale games out there, but I don't really get into those too much. But Tetris 99 is tremendous. Super Mario Brothers, just some crazy stuff. If you have a Switch and you have online, I would definitely get both those games.
And you also dig Splatoon too, right?
Oh man, you know what? I completely forgot about it. Yeah, Splatoon 2.
Yeah.
On the Switch is that's my all-time favorite games.
Yeah.
It's probably I probably logged in it's probably my 3rd most played game on the Switch.
Wow. See,
yeah, I love that game. I had it on the first one on the Wii U, and it was great. Do you know they're still playing it on the Wii U online?
Yeah, I can believe it. Like I said,
I plugged mine in about a month ago just to check it out. So I wanted to see what level I'd gotten to.
Yeah.
I was like, they're still playing. The server's still on. I was like, wow, this is awesome.
I know, and that's what pissed me off about Uncharted 2. Because I'm
crazy
like,
because the Switch has been on for like 4 years. I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't just shut it down.
And I keep getting surprised that it's been out that long. Because I remember my son bringing it to Florida, and he didn't go to Florida last year. So that's been 2 Floridas ago. And I'm like, wow, that's a long time.
Well, it came out in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be 4 years coming up.
Yep. It's pretty trippy. Time goes by.
I forgot what game I was just going to mention. Rats.
We were talking about Splatoon. You talked about the first one.
The Wii U.
Yeah.
Had a fantastic. Wait a minute, do I have that here? This just fell down.
Gravity.
Crazy gravity. What is that? Let's see. Oh, yeah, here you go. Now, this is one of my favorite games, multiplayer games, Nintendo Land.
I never even heard of it.
It's got a bunch of games. All the games are based on different franchises.
Really?
They have one, Mario one. They have an Animal Crossing one, Metroid, Zelda, F-Zero, Donkey Kong.
Wow.
But the cool thing is that these games are up to 5-player. And what makes this so cool, and even if they made a new Nintendo Land on the Switch, this is still going to be unique because a lot of these games were 5-player, but it was like 4 versus 1.
Oh,
Because someone would hold the gamepad.
yep.
And someone would do that, and it would be like they would have really great control because they had an extra screen. They could see more than what was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a huge advantage, but you had 4 other people that were out. Like the Mario one, I believe you were Mario. You were basically, it was like a hide and seek. You were running around. People were trying to find you, and there were indicators to let them know where you were, and you're trying to find them and trying to box them and catch them. Animal Crossing had one where you would shake trees and pick up, like, it would like drop candy, I think.
Right. Okay.
And you'd eat the candy, and you'd have to get it back to a certain area to score points. But the the cool thing was, the more candy you ate, the fatter you got, the slower you got. So you had to make that choice. Do I want to eat a lot of candy and get a lot of points and risk being caught? Or do I want to just eat a little bit? It was
what a great life lesson.
Yes.
And now there have, we're moving along in Animal Crossing, speaking of which. And then I do have another point to make, though, about Mario. So remind me about that if I lose track. But on Animal Crossing now, they've got the scorpions are gone, and now the tarantulas are in.
They're back.
So Christine went up against the tarantula, which is not an arachnid, right?
I don't know.
Not technically an arachnid. I don't know what the deal was. If they're just that badass and they can make their own deal. No, I am not one of those, dude. But no, speaking of Mario, though, that's one of the things that I can't believe you've never played the Mario Party, because that's all over the place with that stuff. What's up, Papa Pete?
He's even spelling it gogamego. Papa Pete, you're passing through. Let us know your favorite multiplayer games before you pass on by.
But there's all kinds of multiplayer games within that game. It's a multiplayer game, and within that, there's multiplayer games where it's exactly what you were talking about, where you've got one person is going up against the other players. So it's really pretty cool. It's really cool.
We'll have to play Nintendo Land when you come over next time, because it's very unique. I mean,
yeah,
there's nothing else like it because you need that second screen.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And I mean, I would say start with this new, if you wanted to get into Mario Party, just start with this new one. It's a beautiful game. And Christine, when we went, one of the times we went over and visited Laura recently, we played it with her and her husband, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So
I'll have to grab it. And those
of
games
course,
were
one of my all-time favorites, NBA Jam multiplayer.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I've mentioned that game before, but I just got to say, if you're talking about some of my favorites, that's it. Of course, ice hockey for you and I, the classic Nintendo ice hockey.
Yep. And we can play that head-to-head without leaving our homes, because you can go online and play it through the online service. Through
the Switch?
Yep.
Oh.
It's part of the online games that they give you.
Oh, that they give? Okay, yeah.
And those games, if they're multiplayer, you can play them online.
Yeah, I did that. I got those. Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. Let us do that.
You know what? I got in a kind of a weird game. It's a 2-player game, but it's really good. Nidhogg on PS4, I believe.
I've played Nidhogg 2
on the
Switch. I bought it on there. And man, yes. One fantastic, not crazy, detailed. It's got wonderful graphics.
It's such simple controls.
Yes.
And it's tug of war, basically. You're just going to go back and forth.
It is. And then at the end, when you win, ow. I think that's brilliant. I've won, but I got taken in by the Nidhogg. Ow.
I would recommend it to anybody who, if you've got someone to play it with, grab it, because Nidhogg it's crazy.
I mean, It is great. You know you can get it on the Switch. Nidhogg 2, and my son turned me on to it, and oh my gosh, we had so much fun playing long distance because he doesn't live.
Nidhogg 2 has a few more features, I believe, but the graphics look completely different.
Do they?
Oh yeah, the original Nidhogg looked more like the Television Running Man. You know,
really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the Running Man, but it was more like that. It was kind of like a solid color.
Wow.
Papa Pete playing CNC Red Alert, direct dial head to head. Holy smokes!
Are you listening to CNC Music Factory while you do that? NES Ice Hockey.
Yep.
Shut the front door.
Pete, do you have the Nintendo Online?
Oh my gosh, we can play. That would be awesome. That would be fun.
I don't know if I've Pete's friend code. I can't remember.
Yeah,
you can send it to me on. If I don't, Pete, you can send it to me through Discord. But yeah, I've yet to play anything online on Switch. Online service, the old games that they've made online now. I haven't played any of those online yet.
Wow.
You kind of have to have a friend ready to go to play to do it.
What do you mean?
Well, I've tried I don't even know if you can play.
Oh, you have to find somebody because you can't find random people.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's something goofy about it, and I can't remember now. But you definitely can play online.
Okay.
And I would, anyone who likes that old ice hockey game, play it. And
I can't believe we haven't been.
What's cool too is if you have an online. Oh man, came with the Rumble Pack. I remember going up to Toys R Us in North County and grabbing that on day one. To this day, it's one of my favorite games. There's something really neat about that game.
Well, and even though
and it had multiplayer.
Well, right. That was my point.
Great multiplayer.
I'd get my butt kicked constantly, either by you or my son. Either one.
That's a good game.
Yeah, I mean, I had moments, but they were short lived.
I was going to say, anyone who has Switch online service. I know I've told you this before. You can just Google this and find out, but you can sign up for any region you want. So I signed up for
you did
the UK and also Japan.
Yeah.
And what's cool is the online games are not completely the same. Like the Japanese one has I can't remember the name of it. It's a 1-versus-1 fighting game. But it's a fighting game, but it's for the NES. But kind of like Street Fighter, it's just one-on-one fighting. But it's with these weird like robot characters, and it is a ton of fun.
Wow. Well,
this would be a show, Lance. Papa Pete versus Go Game Go. I love that.
Oh, dude, you want to talk about great multiplayer games? Where the hell is it? Goldeneye.
I can't play it because it makes me sick.
What?
Because of the first person stuff.
Really? You can't do that.
No. A long time ago, I went over to a friend's house. They were having like a bunch of people over, and they had it. And I tried it. I was just getting sick. I had a headache.
Oh, you're like, I'm out of here.
I said, I'm done. I can't play this. I'll wait for the next game.
Okay. So am I assuming? Well, now here's another one. The Boom Blocks. Have you ever played Boom Blocks? where you have.
Wait, wasn't there a game just called Boom Blocks?
There was, and then
That's the one I have.
Yeah, so you have a regular boom block. That was great. That was great. I bought this. It was inexpensive, and I needed boom blocks, but this was all that they had available. But let me ask you something. Because we got 15 minutes left, but would you say, am I right in saying, and I'm sorry if I'm stealing your thunder.
Damn it.
But am I right in saying that Bomberman is your favorite multiplayer game?
Yes.
I didn't know if you were going to I didn't know when you were getting to it. I hope I didn't mess it up.
I'll just get to it now. So I found this. I didn't know I had this, but I found this. Huh. This is actually 4-player if you have the multi-tap.
Yeah, wow.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But what's cooler than this at the same time was TurboGrafx Bomberman.
Oh yeah.
Because that was 5-player. So it outdid it by one person. And
so how many Bombermans are there?
Oh, I don't know. They're all over the place. There's so many.
Okay. All right. Because you have them for it happens. It has to happen every show.
There's a chihuahua in every show. That should be our tagline.
Go game go. Will you get a chihuahua every show? And that's my Dr. Seuss moment for the day.
Yeah, I don't know. Bomberman, it's on everything.
Yeah, because do you own an Xbox? You have an Xbox, right?
Yeah. I actually like the Xbox quite a bit.
That's what I thought. Isn't that what, when I came over that Thanksgiving, isn't that what you were playing on? Or were you playing on something else?
What were we playing?
Bomberman. You were having the big Bomberman tournament.
No, that was Sega.
That
Saturn.
was Sega. Okay. All
right. Before I get to the other Bomberman thing, on the original Xbox, there's a game called Magic the Gathering Battlegrounds.
Sure, yeah.
And it's 2-player. It's the card game, but you're not playing cards.
Okay.
You literally have a field.
Okay.
Split in half, and you control a planeswalker, I think they're called, one on each side, and you can summon monsters just like you would in the game.
Sure.
But when you summon them, they go out, and they just go over to their side and start attacking, and hopefully you have monsters set up to either block them. So it's kind of like the card game, but brought to life.
Right. Kind of like
with no cards, but it played great, and we used to play the heck out of that game because it was so much fun. Because you would have like cards, if you want to call them that, where you build your deck, whatever. But
right,
you don't really play with the cards, and you'll select the monster you want and send them out there. And there's like mana on the board. You've got to pick it up. And the more mana you get, the more monsters you can bring out because each monster costs so much mana to bring out, just like in the card game.
Right.
Papa Pete, do you have that game? Magic the Gathering.
So that it ends up kind of being like you're muted.
All right. Back to Bomberman.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Here's Saturn Bomberman.
Oh, there you go.
Oh wait, why can't I hear you now?
You can't hear me?
Wait,
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Weird.
What's going on?
Talking about magic.
Can you hear me now?
Nope.
What?
You're gone.
Why?
Talking about magic.
I don't know. What's going on? We've lost.
I don't get it. What's going on?
Here, while you figure that out, and I'll talk about this.
Okay.
So here's Bomberman for Saturn. And
let's see, what
this to me is hands down the best Bomberman game. By far. I like these old Saturn manuals. Look how big these things are. What do you think, Barry? I'm trying to think. It had some cool artwork in it. But, I mean, what made this so great was, well, two things. The single-player version, or the story mode, was one. Oh, wait a minute. You guys can hear us both? Looks like Stuart's coming back on. Well, anyway, on Saturn Bomberman, there was a story mode. And you could do either one player or two player, so it was a co-op if you wanted, which is great. And it's actually a lot of fun. And then you have the battle mode, which you can do up to 10 people. The 10-person Bomberman, though.
How about that?
Perfect. They said they could hear you, though. I couldn't hear you for some reason, but everyone else.
That's weird. That's so weird.
But I was saying, the cool thing about this is you can play single player, or at the same time, you can use co-op.
Okay.
So you can have two people go through the whole story mode.
Mm-hmm.
But then for the actual battling, you can have up to 10 people. The 10-person screen, it's just one level. But everybody gets really small. I don't know. We don't really like that when we play.
That's so Steve Martin. Everybody gets small.
So we do the 8-player version all the time because you can have 8 people. You know what's really cool about this? This had online ability at the time, which doesn't now. But you can also play in widescreen mode. And this game's old. It's like 96, 97.
Yeah, because, I mean, it must have been close to that time when I came over to your house that time.
Yeah, and but you can put it in widescreen mode, which makes it a lot better.
Wow.
And I don't know what there are, 7 different courses maybe.
Okay.
And they're all really cool.
Wow.
They're all completely different.
Have you become, of all the people that you've played against, have you become the best player?
No.
Okay.
So we haven't done it in a few years now, but we used to always on Thanksgiving do a Bomberman tournament.
Right.
And early on, I did win one early on, but then my nephew Sean won pretty much every year. And then Nathan actually won the tournament when he was 7, which no one's ever going to beat that record. That was crazy.
Really?
But then Sean's, won some more after that. And then as Nathan got older, he became the best. But at about the same time, Sean then moved out of state. And they've only played head-to-head a couple of times, but they're definitely the 2 best Bomberman players.
Wow.
Yeah, Nathan, he's crazy good at Bomberman. And what's funny is we pretty much only play once a year. We don't play it every week or every month. We pretty much just pull it out on Thanksgiving and play.
Well, yeah. I guess
So
once
what's
you have a
interesting-
strategy, you just use it.
So what's interesting is the people that come over, they're kind of on the same footing as us because we don't really play it other than them.
Right.
And I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because we don't have 8 people sitting here. And it's just so much more. It's so fun with 8 people that when you back out the 4, even though it's a great time, it's just not as good as the 8-player.
Yeah, you're like,
it's so raucous because you got 8 people around a TV, all trying to kill each other.
Yeah,
and the controls are so simple. To me, that's Saturn Bomberman is by far my favorite multiplayer game.
I just remember being a Walking Dead man when I showed up that Thanksgiving. I'm like, yeah, I'm not.
Now, here's 2 games. I don't even know if I played. I only have them because when I first got the Saturn, I got these because they're really cheap. They're really cheap, and look at this. Okay, so NBA Live 97.
Okay.
Well, here's where I got it. It was cheap, and can you see this? 10 players.
1 to 10 players?
10. You can have 2 full teams out there playing.
Holy crap.
That'd be worth just trying out.
I can't believe that they actually sold those as a jewel case.
Look how big they are.
I know, and it's that CD like case.
Yeah, I mean, you open it up. Just a CD in there.
I mean, it's. Yeah, I don't know.
But I also grabbed this. This is before I'd ever played the game. Look at this. Worms.
Worms.
But look at this. 16 players.
16 players. Oh
The
my
Saturn
Lord.
was just crazy with multiplayer stuff. And
I wonder if the Amico can get up to 16 players.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me show that screen.
Let me look back here real quick too. I'm gonna.
For all the Amico people out there, I created the original 5 as like this really simple line drawings.
Would that be Amico?
Huh? Amico?
Amico. That's what you
PTO
call
red,
Amico.
black, white, Galaxy purple, and Founders Edition. But then I added just like basic colors. So I think they look pretty cool.
And then I told him he needs to put a little robot body on it. Or
Yeah,
it
'cause you
also
got,
looks like this.
Because it's kind of funny, like you got like, oh, you know what it looks like? Okay, eyeball, eyebrow, almost like a vertical Groucho.
Oh, yeah.
Like mustache.
Yeah.
But like eyebrows, and then this little tab here, like the power button, kind of looks like a tongue sticking out.
Where's the Gene Simmons model? It has a little longer thing.
I was gonna talk about Bomberman, not Bomberman, Worms more. I was gonna pull out the one for Dreamcast, but we got a Dreamcast show next week, so I was like, I'll just save it for then.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, yes.
I don't know if I have any.
Awesome.
Do I have any other games left here?
This is one of our, and of course we've mentioned this game before. There's another one of our favorite multiplayers.
Yes. Was
Also,
I don't even remember now because we always just played 2-player. But Nintendo 64 and the GameCube, were those both 4-player games? I think they were, weren't they?
yeah, I think so.
I don't think we ever played with 4 people though.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, 1
man.
to 4. 1 to 4 simultaneous. Got the memory card. You can use memory card. Yeah. But it is. That's 4. Where's my...
What was that, the GameCube one you had?
Uh-huh. Yep. And then let's see, where's my... Yep. Wow, look at that. How about that? It's not even marked, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably that one.
You the manual?
Yeah. The Manuel,
The Manuel.
as Michael said in one of their shows recently. Who's Manuel? 2-player versus.
Oh, so that was just 2-player, the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that it was 4.
Huh. Maybe you couldn't handle it.
Well, maybe, but I mean, it had 4 ports.
Yeah, maybe maybe power-wise, it couldn't handle 4 guys out there.
Because it was a pretty involved game with all the stunts you could do and all the...
Oh, speaking of worms,
Yes.
there was a very strange PS1 game called Hogs of War.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I have.
But it's basically 3D worms, except you're hogs, and you have all kind of weapons, and it's in 3D.
The Hogs of War. That's hilarious.
It was not anywhere near as good as Worms. Matter of fact, Worms even went 3D for a little bit.
And did you like it?
No.
No.
Because it's 3D. You can't.
It's 3D.
It completely changes everything. You can't like line stuff up right.
Oh, right.
There's no ninja rope anymore because
Oh,
that would have been too difficult.
yeah. No, thank you.
Now, Worms did have, I think it was on 360, they had one called Worms Forts.
Worm Sports.
No, Forts.
Oh, Forts. Sorry, I thought you said sports. I was like, what?
And what you would do is, like in a 4-player game, you'd be like in 4 corners of a map, and every turn you could build part of a fort, or you could attack whatever you wanted to do. So during the game, instead of like and this was in 3D, but it was a little bit better in that you're in corners, so you're looking at a guy this way and this way. And I don't remember if you could really leave the fort or if you're kind of stuck there. But it was weird. It was like you were building and playing Worms at the same time. So you were trying to like protect yourself, like you could in 2D Worms. You can do that, but it was much more elaborate because you're building up a real fort.
Right.
And it still wasn't as good as the original, but it was pretty interesting. It was worth playing.
Huh.
I think maybe that was the original Xbox.
Well, now, speaking of,
because I used to play the original Xbox a lot. I think I've forgotten like half the games I used to play on there.
Speaking of building things, this is always, these were great multiplayer games where you can have a whole set of people playing in the band. But speaking of building things, what a series this has become.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Lego series. I have this. I've got that.
I have never played a Lego game.
Really? Really?
Really?
You get to run through, you build all kinds of stuff, and
they look awesome.
And you work together. There's moments though, sometimes where I would get lost. I'm like, okay, where am I supposed to be? Christine and I started playing the Harry Potter. We did start in on that one. And they've been porting these where you can, play, you can get a bunch of the games all together. So, but those are fun though. I'll tell you what.
There you go. Pop Pete Worms Forts was on the original.
Vigilante 8.
Wait, when was, let's say, so Xbox, it came out with, what else was out at that time? Was it GameCube and PS2?
Yes, I believe so. So, one of the biggest franchises for Xbox multiplayer, Halo.
I think I played my original Xbox maybe as much as, maybe even a little more than the GameCube, and I didn't get a PS2 till a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the original Xbox, man, I played that a lot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you ever play Vigilante 8?
No, I didn't. I'm familiar with it. Didn't that come out when we were doing CES and stuff like that? Wasn't that?
I think that was out afterwards.
Was it?
Lance's name was on PS1.
Okay. Okay.
It's like Papa Pete's here.
Oh.
Like when he's on a show, he can just pull any game out he wants. He just pulled one out. Worms Forts Under Siege.
That's it. That guy is crazy. But nuts. Yeah, no, there's the one thing I've never done that I'd love to do sometime if you want to get together and do it, is do some multiplayer game, do the co-op stuff. I'd love to do that because some of those I know I'm going to sound really stupid right now because I love the series, but doesn't Uncharted starting with 2, doesn't that have co-op mode?
Not that I know of, but
Really?
I would have never had anyone to play co-op with. So
that was
maybe
my
I
point.
didn't pay attention.
Oh, Twisted Metal.
Oh, Vigilante 8's like Twisted Metal.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Twisted Metal's the one with on the PS with the clown.
Right. Yeah,
right?
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Am I a clown to you?
That make you laugh?
I asked my wife before she left, like, what's your favorite multiplayer game? She goes, Bomberman. I said, what else? Worms. It's like, what else?
You're like,
she said, Ordyne.
Ordyne.
That is a fun shooter with 2 people. on Turbo Graphics. You get to go shopping. You can upgrade your stuff.
Gosh, I forgot. We used to do that. We played that together because I remember
Oh,
both
yeah.
ships going into the into the shop.
Did you have Warlords? I know I had it back then.
Yeah, I've got. That's what I showed you. It's in
Oh,
my.
yeah, that's right.
It's actually the card is still in my system over there. So
And I know another like one-on-one game, Street Fighter. I've always been a big fan of. Back on the PS3.
yeah,
No, I think it was Xbox 360.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing Street Fighter 4 back then. I was playing online. Back then they'd have tournaments, and they'd have some online tournaments.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I signed up for one. I was practicing as Blanca, and I mean I wasn't very good, but the first match I went into, I was playing as Blanca. The guy I was playing, he was, I can't think of his name, but he was like a Mexican. Was he a chef or something? But he was this guy. He bounced all over the place, and so you would play a best 3 out of 5, and as soon as somebody got 3 wins on you, they would advance.
Yeah.
And so I'd never really played against this character before, and he was just kicking my ass. I couldn't do anything against him. He won the first round easily. The second round, I'm trying to figure him out. Again, I'm crushed. Third round, I finally figure him out about halfway through. So I'm halfway dead already. I figured him out, came back and beat him. So now it's 2-1. Then I kicked his ass in the third or the fourth game. Now it's 2-2. And the fifth round was awesome because then he started figuring me out. And we came down to the very end. We both had like a little bit. And I finally beat him. And I was thinking, man, he's got to be pissed. He was up 2-0. And he was crushed. He was killing me in the third round until I figured him out.
That's rough.
And then I got my butt handed to me after that. But it was fun to beat somebody online anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I advanced. I did advance.
You know what stinks? On the PS4, I bought
That's
Bloody
one
Roar.
of my all-time favorites. Did you ever play this?
No, I don't have that. I've heard about it. You know, I think I played it with Tara and Sean. I believe they may have had it. I know I played it somewhere.
It is fantastic fight game where you can power up and turn into a beast, and that's the one, man. This is the game. This is the game where my little girl was like 8 years old, and Christine called us for dinner, and she goes, "Not right now, Mom. We're in the middle of a death match."
Got a death match going on.
My little sweetie, can't have dinner yet, Mom. We're in the middle of a death match. Just like that year it was Christmas Eve, and Logan and I are putting the table together. And you can watch a movie, but it's got to be a Christmas movie. Boom, bang, that doesn't sound like a Christmas movie. It's Die Hard. That's a Christmas movie.
Oh, you know what game I like?
That was long before anybody ever thought about Die Hard being a Christmas movie.
You know what fighting game on the Switch I really like is Fantasy Strike.
Oh, I've not heard of that one.
It's simple to control. All the buttons are the same for all the characters, but they do different things.
Okay.
So once you learn the controls, you can control any character. It's just a matter of figuring out how to use their moves. But there is a free version of it on the Switch.
Oh, okay.
So you can download it and play part of it for free. And then if you want other parts of it, you can pay for it. But you can't. It's called Fantasy Strike, and you can download part of it for free, which is kind of cool.
I'm just thinking you've told me about that before.
I did, because it used to be just a straight pay thing. And then
Did you see this? They have the Fantasy Strike Collector's Pack for $100.
I don't even know what all that is. You can get part of the game for free. I think you can pay. You can pay for the whole game is like $25 or $20. $20. And then there's the other thing, which I'm not really sure what that even is. I'm not sure what that includes.
Let's see. In addition, the core pack included in this bundle gives you access to several game modes. Arcade mode, versus mode for local play, including standard and team battle, survival modes, that would be my favorite, including 4 sub modes, and the over-the-top boss rush mode, where you assemble a deck of power-ups against increasingly crazy CPU characters.
Wait, is that on the regular paid version?
I'm reading that as all that stuff is in the collector's pack.
Because I have that, but I don't have I bought it originally when it came out, and that's all.
Yeah.
That's everything it had.
Let's see. The core pack gives you access to several game modes: arcade mode, versus mode, same thing, survival mode, over-the-top boss rush.
Yeah.
Core pack also lets you send and receive direct challenges from friends in both standard and team battle modes. Holy smokes! The graphics look amazing.
Yeah, it's a good game. Wait a minute. I got a question for Pete. Sweden 3, Team Canada 20. I'm guessing you played as Team Canada. Did you win 20-3, Pete? Because I used to be really good at that game, and I'd always win, but now when I play it, I stink.
Wow.
That'd be amazing if you first time playing it in a while and you win 20-3. That'd be nuts.
I guess I should get mine out and play, do a live stream after I figure out what songs I actually have to learn for tomorrow night.
Speaking, I was saying you could download the NES online games and Super Nintendo online app from different countries.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait a minute. Papa Pete must be some kind of. Well, he's Canadian, so he's good at hockey.
it's
in his DNA. I don't think I want to play Papa Pete in hockey.
It's just a matter of remembering the trick.
Yeah, I used to be able to score pretty much all the time with the little skinny guy in front of the net.
Yeah,
I would do some kind of dipsy doodle where I'd go up and down, and then I'd shoot up, and I'd score every time. But every time I could get into that position, I could score. But I can't even do it anymore. I gotta practice.
That's like when I would play, and another multiplayer game that I love is I've talked about the game before, is Strikers. Mario Strikers, and I just love that game. And Brad would have this move that he would do with Diddy, and he'd run around behind there, and then he'd kick the ball out and pass it. So I always had to be ready to block or to steal, but he got me so many times with that.
I don't know why they don't make a new version of that.
I don't either. I mean, that's such a fantastic game. They could at least port it for the Switch, so you could.
That was
play
on GameCube
again.
too, wasn't it? GameCube and Wii.
I would say yes.
Because there's 2 versions, right?
I don't remember. I just remember playing it on the. I just remember playing it on the Wii.
Wait, do you remember double tap every shot in ice hockey?
Yeah.
I don't remember doing that.
Huh.
Oh, now I got to try that out.
Double tap every shot. Imagine. I just watched The Office where they were making fun of Kevin with the Cookie Monster. And then in retaliation, he put Oscar's voice over the count. It doesn't really work, they said.
No, it didn't.
He's an accountant. The count counts.
I was making rice, and I was pouring cups into the rice maker, and so I didn't forget, because sometimes I'll do it, and I'm like, I don't even remember how many I put in.
How many you put in?
So I did it, and I go 1. And then Silly's sitting there. She goes, 1.
I totally can hear it. I'm right there. I'm already there. I know.
The only game I wanted to just bring up briefly, because I don't play a lot, but Rocket League, I play on Switch.
Rocket League, yes.
That is fantastic. soccer with cars,
Yeah.
but it plays great. Love that.
Yeah. I also know that like the Marvel Alliance was a big game here for a while in my house. And of course the Capcom Marvel versus Capcom was huge. That was a big multiplayer here too. But yeah, so many great multiplayer games. We'll have to revisit this again and make sure we write down everything that we've talked about because there's so many great multiplayer games. But we'll do another multiplayer show probably in January. I'd say would be a good time to do it because there are so many that we've played that we haven't even mentioned yet. You know, and some that maybe between now and then we can play some too. We could stream some and take on Papa Pete.
Take on Papa Pete.
Yeah. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll work something out with Papa Pete to take him on prior to the week prior to the show.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
do it on the weekend.
I guess as we wrap up, next week is a Dreamcast edition with Mike Mullis.
So is it a dream show?
Yeah. It's a dream show. And then we don't know what we're doing after that. But then the following week we'll be doing another movie show. A movie
Even
night.
when we know, do we truly know?
Are you going to play us out?
Yeah, I should.
Yes.
That's Go Game Gone.
All right, we're going to take off.
Hey,
Thanks
remember to
for stopping by,
subscribe. We never say that in the beginning. We should.
Yeah. I always forget.
You know, maybe it's just because we don't gotta feel like we gotta say it all the time. But subscribe, tell your friends, pop on, and hang out with your friends and have some beers and
Give us a like.
Yeah.
Subscribe
And
if you haven't.
if you want to know when we're doing stuff, hit the notification thing, and that'll tell you when you're doing it. But subscriptions, awesome. And then I got to get this thing recorded.
Yes. So we'll have a cool intro at some point.
There you go. See? Game over.
All right. Well, we're going to take off. See you guys.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everybody chatting. It was awesome. Go Game Go.